The Weight of Broken Trust, A Journey Back to Self. Chapter 1, The Unbreakable Bond, or so she thought. Mira had always believed that love was the strongest force in the universe. She had seen relationships crumble around her, but she held on to the idea that real love, true, unwavering love, was built on trust. And trust, in her eyes, was unbreakable if nurtured with care. She had met Daniel at a time when she least expected it. He was charming, attentive, and made her feel like she was the center of his world. Their late-night conversations were endless. They talked about everything from their childhood memories to their biggest dreams. Mira believed she had finally found her person, the one who would never betray her, never lie to her, never break her trust. But life has a way of teaching us lessons we don't want to learn. Chapter 2, The Unspoken Warnings. It started with the small things Mira brushed off as insignificant. Daniel, who once made it a point to check in on her every morning, became inconsistent. The good morning texts that used to light up her screen were replaced with silence. When she asked if something was wrong, he would smile and tell her she was imagining things. "You're overthinking, love," he would say with a reassuring kiss on her forehead. But Mira knew her heart was not lying to her. Trust isn't about grand gestures, it's about consistency in the little things. And Daniel was slipping away, one missed call at a time. Then came the secrets. The late nights, the messages he would quickly hide, the way he turned his phone away when she was near. Mira told herself to be patient, to give him space. After all, love requires understanding. But deep down, a quiet voice whispered, something isn't right. Chapter 3, The Breaking Point. One night, Mira found herself alone in their apartment, waiting for Daniel. He had told her he was working late, but something inside her told her otherwise. Hours passed, and when he finally came home, there was a scent on him that didn't belong to her. A faint perfume, floral and unfamiliar. She didn't want to be the jealous girlfriend. She didn't want to accuse him of something she wasn't certain of. But the unease in her chest refused to subside. "Daniel," she said softly, watching him as he sat down on the couch, avoiding her gaze. "Is there something you're not telling me?" He hesitated. And in that hesitation, she found her answer. "Mira, you know I love you," he said, but his voice lacked the warmth it once held. "You have to trust me." She wanted to. God, she wanted to. But trust isn't about words, it's about actions. And his actions had been telling her a different story for weeks. "Trust is a two-way street," she whispered. "And you've already crossed a line, haven't you?" The silence between them stretched, heavy and suffocating. And then, with a single sigh, Daniel shattered everything. "I'm sorry," he said. That was all. No explanation. No excuses. Just an apology that came too late. Chapter 4, The Aftermath of Betrayal. Mira sat in their bedroom, staring at the walls, trying to make sense of what had just happened. How do you process the moment when the person you love most betrays you? How do you stop loving someone who never thought twice about hurting you? People often say forgiveness is the key to healing. But Mira knew better. Some wounds cut so deep that forgiveness feels impossible. Not because she wanted to hold on to anger, but because trust, once broken, was like shattered glass. Even if pieced back together, the cracks would always remain. For days, she battled with herself. A part of her wanted to believe Daniel's apology meant something. That maybe, just maybe, they could fix this. But another part of her, the part that still respected herself, knew the truth. Some things are not meant to be repaired. Some betrayals are too great to overlook. And so, with a heavy heart, she made the hardest decision of her life. She walked away. Chapter 5, The Pain of Letting Go. Leaving wasn't easy. Every step away from Daniel felt like 1,000 knives cutting into her soul. But Mira understood something crucial: pain is temporary. Losing yourself is permanent. The hardest part wasn't leaving, it was relearning how to live without him. The silence in her apartment felt deafening. The empty side of the bed reminded her of what once was. The songs they used to listen to now carried memories that felt like ghosts haunting her. But Mira knew she had no choice but to heal. She couldn't let Daniel's betrayal define her. So she did what she had to do. She blocked his number. She deleted their photos. She surrounded herself with people who reminded her of her worth. And most importantly, she reminded herself daily, I deserve more. Chapter 6: The Power of Self-Worth. Days turned into weeks. The pain didn't disappear overnight, but it became more manageable. Mira stopped waiting for closure. She stopped hoping for an apology that would never erase the past. Instead, she chose to create a new future for herself. She poured her energy into things that made her happy: reading, painting, long walks under the evening sky. She rediscovered parts of herself that she had neglected while trying to hold on to a love that was never meant to last. And slowly, she realized something beautiful. She didn't need Daniel. She didn't need his apologies. She didn't need to prove her worth to anyone, because she had already proven it to herself. Chapter 7: Moving Forward Without Looking Back. One evening, months later, Mira found herself sitting in a quiet cafe, sipping her coffee, watching the world go by. She no longer flinched when she heard Daniel's name. She no longer felt a pang of sadness when she thought of the love they once shared. Instead, she felt peace. She had learned that broken trust is not a reflection of her flaws, it's a reflection of the other person's choices. She had learned that cutting people off is not cruelty, it's self-respect. And most importantly, she had learned that the greatest love story she would ever experience was not the one she had with Daniel. It was the one she had with herself. As the sun set beyond the horizon, Mira smiled, knowing that her story was far from over. It was just beginning. Thank you for spending this time with us. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Don't Give Up. Let's continue exploring life's challenges and insights together.